Hello everyone and welcome to another video, or welcome if you are new. We hopefully have a nice little quick video today, and we are doing a review. And this isn't like a quick kind of, I've just bought these, here's a review after 2 weeks. This is a 3-year review. So we are reviewing my Beats. So I have the Beats Studio 3. I have them in the, I can't remember what it's listed as on the website, but I have them in the black and cream. And we're going to be chatting about them today in terms of a autism perspective, because there are so many different perspectives for headphones. I do feel like different people want them for different things. So I'm here to give you my autism perspective on them, because they're very good for things like noise cancelling, things like that. So I'm going to talk through them in that way. If you're looking for like a sound perspective, I haven't got a freaking clue about sound. Don't watch this for the sound quality. I haven't got a clue. If you're looking for tech stuff, this ain't the channel for you. I'd maybe go watch someone else, but this is for an autism perspective. Headphones are very important for the majority of the autism community. We rely on them quite heavily. If you are new, if you are like new to autism, you're watching this because you're a subscriber type thing. The reason they are so important is because the majority of us don't really like sound as much, or particular sounds. There are different type of things that we use. So there tends to be in autism kind of like sensory seeking or sensory, I've forgotten the word for it, but like not wanting as many sensory things. So there tends to be people who either just use headphones, or people who use noise blockers, which are like ear defenders, or people who use both. I tend to just use headphones, but completely valid however you use them anyway. If you use both, if you only use one, if you don't use either, that's completely okay. But I'm just coming at you to review the product a little bit. I'm going to try and get through nice and quick, so it's a nice short video. So like I said, I have had these for 3 years. I got them in Christmas 2020. My boyfriend bought me them. And I was over the moon, because before this I was using I can't remember the brand of them, but basically the Amazon own kind, it wasn't Amazon own because it had a brand name, but the Amazon wireless headphones, I think they were 30 quid. I had like 3 different pairs of them because they kept breaking, and they were like the best affordable wireless like headphones that I could find. These, huge step up. I was sick of having to buy them like every, I don't know, it was like at least once a year I'd have to buy a new pair. Obviously I haven't had to do this, had them for 3 years, still going strong. So that's one of the first things I would say about them. Incredibly durable. I do take care of them in terms of I keep them in the case. I've stopped keeping them in the case as much the last like year or 6 months, and there are a few little scratches, but they are still in very, very, very good quality. There are like no scratches really, or non-considerable, and there is no rips in the fabric whatsoever. They are still completely a-okay, and they still bend lovely. That is one of the best features for it. I freaking love this, because it means you don't have to worry about them snapping. You don't have to worry about like having like a big bag. They fit, like for reference, like they fit quite well everywhere. They are, what would I describe them as? Over ear rather than on ear, which I find important. If they were on ear, I don't think I'd like them as much. So this is how big my ear is and they cover my ear, so my ear fits in the gap nicely. Only thing I will say is, I think when I'm wearing them correctly and they're not on my ear, it should be fine. But if I wear them for long periods of time, and I'm talking a long period of time because sometimes that does happen, they do start to hurt my ear slightly. It's not a huge thing, but slightly, and it feels like the top of it pulls the top of my head a little bit. There is a good amount of padding on the top though. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's maybe the material, because it's like a silicone type material on the top, which is the cushioned bit. So I'm not sure if like the silicone is maybe like pulling on my hair a little bit. So there is a little bit of discomfort for long use, and I mean literally like probably like 4 hours type of use, maybe a little bit less. But I think if I wore them correctly the entire time they weren't on my ear at all, I wouldn't get that pain in my ear. And normally if it's starting to like tug on my head or tug on my hair, if I move them, it stops. So there's definitely workarounds for that. The quality of the sound, like I said, I don't know anything about sound quality. I don't know any of the technical terms. I haven't got a clue. One thing I will say is though, the quality is insane, I think. From going from like cheap, like not great headphones to them was like, oh my god, I feel like I'm at a concert. I think the quality is insane. I can't compare them to things that I know are better quality though. Like I know the Sony headphones are meant to be insane. I can't compare that, but I would say I don't ever think, oh, it sounds a bit tinny, or oh, it doesn't. Like it always sounds spot on. The noise cancelling. So the noise cancelling for these only work when they're switched on, which I've heard, or like I think when they're not playing music, other headphones like the Sony, they noise cancel the entire time, but these only work when they're switched on. And I think when you're listening to music, it's better. You can hear it change when you turn them on. So normally I'll literally put them on my head and then turn them on. And the way that I know that they've turned on is that the noise cancelling clicks in before the noise comes on to say that it's on. I do really enjoy the noise cancelling. I find that it saves so much. Like it is better once you are listening to stuff. So once you've got music on, it blocks out more sound than without it. And I know that sounds obvious, but I'm hoping people get what I mean. Things do come through, and like I say, I think Sony is meant to be the best for noise cancelling, so it's probably not as good as them, but things do break through. So the majority of the time that I wear these are at the gym. Dropping weights does come through. They aren't like completely sound blocking, but they do a very, very good job, and you kind of forget how good of a job they're doing. I went to the gym the other day and these had died, and I put my like Apple earphones in, not AirPods, but like, you know, like the old wired earpods. I had them, and oh my god, I don't know how anyone does the gym without them. Like I couldn't believe how much stuff I could hear. Because I've trained with these for 3 years, I can't believe how much they block out. I think it's insane. Other instances that I use it for, like noise cancellation, is like flying, things like that. I have them on the flight the entire time because the noise cancellation, it kind of not completely blocks it, but blocks out like the low rumbling of the plane. I normally like double up and I use these and earbuds. I have loops now, but I just, for the last flight that I did, I used like little pressure earbud things. I do have loops now, so if you want to see a review on loops as well, please let me know. I was going to do one, but I'm still on the fence about it, so if you want to see that, please let me know. But I was doubling up, and that was like the best solution for me. But I did just use these before I thought about using earpods as well, like earbuds. And these did a really good job. Like they helped me with like I struggle with like the pressure on my ears when I'm flying, and I felt like that even helped. Like having the noise cancellation actually helps the like pressure as well. And if someone's talking to me when I've got these on, I can't hear them. Yesterday I had them on when I went out to the car, and I had no idea someone was behind me talking to me when they were. So it's good from that point of view. Safety wise, I always, I wouldn't wear these if I was out in the street. Safety wise, like as a female, like someone who looks like a female, I wouldn't safety wise, because the noise cancellation is so good. If I'm out walking, I'll use those Apple earphones so I can still hear stuff. So it shows how good the noise cancellation is. Speaking of battery before, I am very unorganized with having to put these on charge. I'm terrible with it, but that shows the battery is actually really good. One thing that is excellent with these headphones is the time it takes to charge versus the time of battery, if that makes sense. These can fully charge in something stupid like half an hour or less, and then I'll have hours of battery time, like hours of battery time. I think these will last, a majority wear them like on average say 2 hours a day, and not like it's normally like minimum of 2 hours, and then some days it's more. And I've just fully charged these last night. I reckon these will last me a week, probably more than a week. And even then, I have a cable in the car, and I'll normally just put them on charge for the journey to the gym, which is about 5 minutes, if that, and that'll normally charge them up to 20%. The battery life and the charging is absolutely insane. The ones that I have are type B. I'm not sure if the new ones are type C. I've just seen the model. So I have the A1914 model, just if anybody's interested in like the specifics of it. That's the thing, these are Beat Studio 3s and that's what they're currently selling as their model, but I'm not sure if they've done kind of revisions to them. These are 3 years old, so they might even be better now. Another thing that I would say for specific to autism is the materials used are insane for me. I know we all have our different opinions on materials. For me, these are perfect. These are perfect. On the top and around the sides, they are a smooth kind of plastic, but like a matte smooth, so not like shiny smooth. In the middle, like I've said, that is silicone, and I freaking love silicone. I love it. And then the pads for the actual earphones, headphones, are so soft. There is a good amount of padding, but not too much that it's like really bulky around your ears. So when I put them on, I don't feel like they look that bulky. Obviously I've got my hair in plaits currently. I normally have my hair in a ponytail and I don't feel like they look huge, but they are very much like over my, like around my ear rather than on my ear. But I feel like even if let's see if I can, like even when it's on my ear, it feels so soft, and if if I do this, it doesn't hurt my ear. I think it's just like what I was saying before, where if I'm wearing them for a long period of time, they can just feel a little uncomfortable, but even then, like I've said, if I put them on correctly, it gets rid of that anyway. I love the little gold embossing on them. I think they're absolutely stunning. The colour is so like soft and gentle on the inside, and I love like the really, really dark grey all around it. I really like the buttons. I like how it's a proper button. My partner has some Bose ones and they're like a swipe type thing. I hate that because I don't like not knowing if I've done it or not. These are literally clicky in buttons. So on the left there is the power button, on the side, on the bottom, and there is lights to say when it comes on, and on the other side, oh no, it's on the same side, it shows you how full battery they are. So like I said, I've just charged them, so that's a full battery. And there is 5 lights, which corresponds to how fully charged they are. So like if only the first one's flashing up, it's on 20%, 40, etc. Which I really like, how there's a physical representation of how charged they are. I would hate if I had to connect it to my phone and then check my phone every time. Obviously my phone gives me more specific, but I love being able to see how charged they are without having to connect them. On the other side there is another light which shows the connectivity. If you hold it down it goes blue, I think, to connect it to something new. And then it has a headphone jack on one side and then the charge on the other. Like I said, this is type B for the ones that I have. It might be type C on the new ones. To skip and play and things like that, it is literally the button, the B on the side. You click it in and you can click twice to skip, 3 for back. It's the standard kind of thing on headphones, but I like how it's an actual button and it doesn't hurt when I'm clicking on it. So when I click on there, I can hear the clicks, which I really, really like because it shows like I've actually done it, but it doesn't, the click isn't too much. It's not super loud because there's a massive cushioning on the headphone. I don't feel like I'm like pressing into my ear. I have never had any issues with them breaking. I know like with electronics, it's an issue as to how often they break, how often things don't work out as planned. I've never had an issue with any part of them. The clicking has never not worked. They've never hyperextended and went the other way. Like I've said, that I do try and take care of them so they're in their box like a lot, but I don't think they scratch that easy. Obviously if you put them in with your keys, that might scratch like the grey off maybe. I'm looking at it, it might happen, but I have very minimal scratches on them, and that's with them being out of the case for maybe like the last 6 months. They are a bit expensive. I would say depending on your value with money, but I feel like they are worth the money for how long they've lasted, the quality of them, how well they work, the material of them and how they look. But eBay, go to eBay if you can't afford it right now, or if you're thinking like whether it's worth it or not. Loads of people are having like put these on for like pre-owned for a really good price. I freaking love this colour, but I think there's quite a lot of colours to choose from. But I would say, in my opinion, they are worth the money, but if you can't stretch to that right now, definitely look at places like eBay and Vinted. Going back to the sound quality on them, I'm just thinking of other things that I haven't mentioned. I've never had to like fiddle with the sound on them. I've never had to like fiddle with the bass or all the other settings that are there, if you know what I mean. You know, when you used to just have to do it with like your TV and things like that. I've never had to deal with the bass, and that's something that I normally have to do. I normally have to turn the bass down. I've literally never needed to change the stuff on this. I don't know how I would do it, to be completely honest, but they've always felt like they were appropriate for what I was listening to. Oh, I forgot as well, for the controls, there is a volume. There is a up and down around the B. These are buttons as well. They aren't to the side, like if you want to skip, you have to like double tap the B, but they are, like the volume is a separate component. I was just having a look to see if there's anything else that I haven't mentioned at like other people's reviews. I don't know what the microphone's like. I've never had any complaint. The only thing I've really used them for is talking on the phone. Jack's never had any complaints with them. He can hear me quite clear, whereas with my old one he could barely hear me at all. But these, I feel like the microphone does work quite well. I have tried using them for gaming before, but I had a bit of an issue connecting these with my computer. I game on Windows and I was trying to use them on Valorant, and I had an issue connecting them and the microphone to the correct part of the computer, and I don't know whether that was a these issue or a Windows issue, but they just didn't seem to connect very well, and when I tried to use the microphone it just didn't work. And again, I'm not sure if that was a Windows thing, a Valorant thing, or a headphones thing, but I've not yet successfully had them for gaming. Hello, it's Edit and Sarah coming at you really quickly just to talk through some things that I missed. In terms of the volume, you can get them to go quite loud. I have had them on the noise protection setting that iPhones do, where they limit the sounds that go over a certain decibel. So I can't really talk about the volume that much, but I remember before I had that setting on, they do get quite loud. The other thing I want to talk about is the sounds that they use. So they have a sound for when you turn them on, when you connect them to something, and when they're low power. The sounds are so gentle, you don't get a shock when they come on. I remember with the cheap wireless ones that I had, that used to be a little bit jolting when they came on, and it was a voice and it was very American, and like I just didn't like it as much. The sounds that these ones use, very, very gentle, don't come on super loud like out of the blue. I don't have any problems with them. I know I've said it loads, but I just describe it as like gentle noises that come on, so they don't kind of like make you feel like if you're using them for an overload or something, that's not going to pop up and make you feel like crap again. Anyway, that is going to be it. If you have any questions about them, please let me know. I think they are a really good option if you have the money for them for autism, because the thing that sells it for me is the comfort of them. They don't sit on my ears, they sit around my ears, and even then that is really cushioned. I don't think I'd be able to deal with it if it was on my ear. The noise cancelling is great, and I just love the look of them and how easy they are to carry around as well. I absolutely love them. I'd recommend them to anyone. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you found it useful, please let me know. Please like the video. Oh, and they're on the floor. That's a really good point I didn't show. They do expand quite a lot. Like they have a good amount of expansion on each side. Like if you can see the difference there. I just use them on the lowest setting, and I think that's about right. I probably could expand them a little bit actually to take it off my hair a little bit, and maybe that would stop the issue of it pulling. And I have dropped them a lot like that, and I've still had no issues with the foldable bits, so I love them. Anyway, as I was saying, please make sure to like. It allows YouTube to push my channel further and allows me to grow my channel a little bit more, which I'm very much trying to do. But even if you don't do any of that, thank you so much for watching. I will hopefully see you in another video. Bye.